interrupted a bit.
Yeah, you did. But
It's okay.
it's okay.
It's
Either
alright.
way.
We're not gonna put that on
no,
because, good lord.
Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Guild. This is the third episode, and we decided that. How long has it been since the Joker movie has come out now?
Quite
About
a bit of time.
A good time.
I think almost a month. Yeah.
By the time that
Almost
we're
a month.
recording this, it's been out for a while, and by the time we release this, it's gonna be out even longer.
Yep.
So we decided that we're gonna actually talk about the movie and how we enjoyed it. And
Finally.
some of the issues that we got against it. Finally! And if you end up saying that there's spoilers in this, it's your fault for not watching.
You haven't seen it yet? You're gonna love it.
Stop spoiling it, you vile woman!
we gave you a month to watch it.
Like, instead of like Uncle Sam, like I choose you, it's I blame you.
No.
Stop.
I blame you. No.
No, for real. This is gonna be spoiler filled.
Okay.
Yeah,
so.
this is gonna be full of spoilers. We had recently just rewatched the movie right before we started recording this,
Yes,
so we're very, very fresh to what it is.
Yes.
And
To get
All right.
just to get something out of the way, did we enjoy the movie or hate the movie?
Out of the times that I've watched it, I enjoyed it.
okay, out of the DC franchise, this is the best movie they've put out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On my behalf. Is it a perfect movie?
No.
No. Is it up to par towards Marvel? No.
not
I'm
quite.
sorry.
I mean, it's
It's good. It stands alone. It's very, very good. I do have my things to it that I really, really wish they did differently. We'll go into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But out of 10, if I were to rate it, it's a good solid 6, in my opinion.
I'll
A
give it
good
a 7.
solid 6.
I would give it a 7 or an 8, actually.
No, I think that's being too kind.
6, 7, and 8. Wow, we're over here just
No.
all over the place.
I mean,
I mean, for the first time watching it, I would give it an 8, right?
I said
like,
the first time watching it
Yeah.
is a lot higher rating because when
Yeah,
you watch it
when
like
we
a
watched it
second
the first time, we gave it like
But-
a 9 last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like when you watch it a second time, or the more times you watch it, you start to realize some of the like
Maybe
I
say
guess
something.
flaws.
I
Yeah,
guess,
I
yeah.
guess flaws, but like it's
it
more
just-
like the things that you don't really normally see the first time. You might see some things that you might like, and then you might realize
you just
they
kind of
took-
glanced over and ignored.
you realize this movie took like an hour and a half just to get to the point.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Me, I kind of, I just didn't. There were certain things about it. I don't see it to go up to a 8 or a 9.
okay.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at it as a director standpoint. There's not a lot of errors when it comes to the technical part of it, like the filming or the camera
and
angles or
lighting.
any kind of editing, mistakes
Oh,
or
yeah,
anything.
those were good. I like
The overall the film was cut very well. I do commend the director. He did very, very well for it not being a comedy movie. He did extremely well. But my aspect was on the writing and character development of that. Just me knowing the character outside of the screen versus how they interpreted it
As a
and
Joker
as
fan?
Joker, and how they interpret it in this film as an origin story. Now, I don't know if you guys have anything else. If you just want to just dive into exactly what I'm talking about, or
I mean, I get what you mean. Like, as a point, as someone who's like a fan of the Joker outside of this movie in itself, my biggest gripe in the movie is that it just takes its sweet time.
like slow. It was slow.
It was very slow to get through a lot of points. They made. What I did appreciate about the movie is how more, I guess, relatable it is to kind of understand the Joker, I guess, in a way. The way that they made him, like, more humane, how originally he just wanted to be, happy guy, try to make people laugh. He just wants to be a comedian. He thinks everything's just fine, And then as the world slowly...
Use a mic,
As the world slowly just, what's it called? Dissolves?
Yeah, dissolved around him.
Dissolves around them. Sorry, brain fart. And things like that. And it's just, I don't know. I have a lot of appreciation for this movie because it just shows a lot of the mental aspect, which might not be as entertaining to watch. It could be boring, a little slow, hard to understand. But I appreciate it for that reason.
Oh, you mean the way they
Like his mental disorders and the way that he
okay? You see
perceives
that
the world
that's
in reality.
yeah. That's where I kind of I liked it, but I hated it because they painted him very very mentally disabled.
Yeah.
Like the thing what makes Joker to me one of the greatest villains is he's so smart and so psychotic that he has like it's insane. He's
He's too unpredictable.
exact. That's my point. The way they interpreted in this film,
was predictable.
what I see, I don't see him outwitting Batman. He's always been able to outwit Batman. He's always been like 2 steps ahead of Batman, and like this elaborate, style of let's say a trap or whatever.
This grandiose
Type deal.
over the top.
Exactly. And whenever they're talking about this character, when you see the character in the film, he's very very like lost and he doesn't know who he is until like when he finally breaks and becomes a Joker. You start getting hints of like his character, like his personality come out, but you don't see his intelligence. Like
there's a few moments where it showed a flick of intelligence of cat and mouse type things.
I think that was more like
I would say it's more intelligence popped up more when the cops were chasing him. How he used that to his advantage.
yeah.
I was gonna say like the most intelligent moments in the movies for him, other than just being a reactionary character, someone who's just reacting to the world around him because he's lost trying to figure things out, is when he finally comes to the realization of, what, forget it, I'm just gonna be the Joker, I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, I stopped taking my medications, I feel great. And I could see
he accepts himself.
Yeah, he accepts himself, and that's when I could see some of the form of intelligence appear in his things, because that scene where he right before he says I stopped taking my medicine while he's talking to his former coworkers, when he lets them in, immediately he puts that lock, whatever that's called,
the latch,
the little latch up top, which is too tall for the
Dwarfism.
Small man. Okay. But what happens is that it's almost from that moment it was calculated for him. How he was just casually listening in. How he already had the blade in his pocket. He didn't just grab it; it was already in his pocket when he went to go for the kill against the bigger guy, and how he was not stressing at all or caring. That could be part of just being mentally
maybe
wrong, but like he was just like, yeah, you could go, and he couldn't leave without his permission, and he was messing with him the whole time. He was just toying with him, scaring him and stuff like that, and then he would just lets him go. What Asiad said, the camera guy. The part in the train station when the cops chasing him, and he just goes into the train with the other people with clown mask and face paint and stuff. How he goes in there, it looks a lot in the movie predicted as like accidental when he takes the dude's mask to cover his own face and it starts a fight.
Yeah,
it looks a very accidental when you watch it, but if it's the Joker that we know.
but
But
I don't think it's the Joker that we know.
I think that's the problem that you're bringing up. It's the fact that this is not the Joker.
They never. If they wanted to stay true to that, they would have shown hints of it at the beginning from when we were first introduced with the Joker. We would have seen a glimpse of that whenever he's doing anything like his normal day routine. You would see elaborate things. He thinks things differently. The way Joker does. Like, he sees multiple different outcomes to one situation where he can manipulate people to do what he wants.
Yeah.
So, when that whole bus situation, that bus part, the train station,
Yeah.
that it seemed very accidental.
It was.
Because and it I think it was to me.
It
I
was.
interpreted it as it was very accidental. But if it was the Joker that we knew, then he thought of that on purpose ahead of time, and his purpose was to lure the cops into the bus on purpose.
It just seemed
to
very
do it.
accidental.
To bounce off of that,
Convenient.
if it was like a different Joker, right? Which I believe it is, right? Than the one that we all know. Then they did a good job making their own spin on the character.
Correct.
Without a doubt.
But if it was trying to make nuances to like the Joker, the traditional Joker that we all know, he gets manipulated a lot. He gets taken advantage of. He's like a pincushion, right?
Yeah.
Like a
Very,
doormat.
Yeah, very a big doormat.
Right? And
yeah.
that is very Harley Quinn, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, honestly, yes, I see that more where he kind of does that to Harley Quinn, and the world is I maybe since this is the origin story, he later evolves into
like
that.
It's his progression to
Yeah,
that
to
we don't see.
that we don't
but,
see.
yeah.
But I mean, I just
Because keep in mind, this Joker, what we see in the movie, is still like what? Batman is still not even in his teens
yeah,
yet.
no, he's like
Nah,
8.
it's
And
like,
he looks around like
yeah.
he looks a little big to be 8. I think he looks more like a 10. Or
I mean,
12.
the point is that happened before.
yeah.
Yeah. The point is, it's before he becomes known as the Bat.
Yeah.
Years before that.
Yeah, I mean, this,
so that,
at the
that
end
could
of
give
the
Joker
at the
time
end
to
of the film, this
develop
one.
the intelligence and overcome that.
Could.
Yeah.
That just lucky stuff that he goes through, and like you said, him being treated like a doormat, and
Yeah.
kind of Harley Quinn esque.
It just seemed like he was
It might explain
trying
why
to
he treats
retaliate.
her like that.
You know?
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times people are, treat others based on how they were treated, and maybe that's just how he reacts naturally because he doesn't know how to correspond. A lot of times the relationship with him and Harley Quinn in the first place, it's very
Abusive.
Just doesn't care.
it's very abusive because a lot of times he's just very confused on why she's so attached as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's a love-hate relationship. He doesn't know how to love. The only person he loved betrayed him. If we're going based on this story,
and this story,
Yeah.
the only person he had was
his
mom.
mother, but his
who
mother lied to
his
him
whole time.
his whole life.
And was abusive.
And
And
was
then the
abusive
only
to
other person he had was a
like
delusion
herself.
in his own
Exactly.
head, which was that quote unquote girlfriend.
Yeah, the love interest that he had, the girl next door.
That was a very clever anchor.
Yeah, I get the symbolism. I like it. It was very clever. Anytime, if you notice in the film, anytime he felt emotion or a sense of like pain, he would use her as a crutch.
Yeah.
She would always be there in those times. So she was kind of his form of comfort. But at the even at the end when he broke in, like towards the middle of the movie where he broke in, he was looking for that comfort inside her, and then since it was all an illusion in his head.
Yeah, since it was never real, and she treated him like he's
Yeah.
like any normal person.
We don't even know if that girl's alive because they never established that.
I think that you can assume she's dead.
You can assume.
I would
It would
think
be
so.
a fair assumption to
That
assume
would be
he's
a
dead,
very
especially
fair
with the fact of the camera angles, the music, the lighting of how he walks away, the facial expression.
And then on top of that, like the grim expression that he has facing her, when he like does the gun
the gun to the
gesture.
head.
Yeah. The universal sign of.
Yeah, suicide,
Yeah.
the gun to the head. I mean, yeah, that's there's a lot of little nuances and little things in this film
Yeah.
that
Which are clever.
clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest pet peeve though on how the movie started.
Oh.
I hate.
You talk about like the 2.5-minute version of him just laughing.
No. I mean, yes, that was one problem, but I'm just
No, but
I meant,
yes.
I meant the. I honestly forgot about that. I forgot about the 2 minutes of laughing before any dialogue was being said. But no, I meant in the part that we never in order for that scene to play out where he gets smacked in the head by the sign, I need to feel attached to that character. And all you've really successfully done was show me how annoying his laughter is for 2 minutes at the beginning of the movie, and then
I thought it was a good Joker laugh.
It is.
It's a good Joker laugh, but when you're over here sitting listening for a whole,
but the first 2 minutes,
Okay,
when it's nothing but that laugh.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as somebody who's gonna break down the film.
Yeah,
that 2 minutes is a lot of time running to
Like,
just
if I
hear somebody
owned the-
laughing and no dialogue.
If I owned the movie, I would fast forward that part.
Exactly. And then you're talking about an entire sequence of scenes where it's basically this guy getting abused, but you have no have no feeling towards this character because you haven't established anything. This is the first time you ever see this character, and
that's why I'm not
how do you feel for somebody getting smacked in the face? I mean, you just don't. If you don't know Joker, then you don't feel for that character.
I mean, like, I think they probably should have saved that for a little bit later.
I think towards the middle of the movie.
You know, because like it'll establish. You know, you need to know that one, he is basically taking care of his mother. You didn't know that yet. At that part of the that part of the movie, you didn't know he was taking care of his mother.
He has a shitty job.
You didn't know that his job was, that shitty. Who knows? Maybe the clowns could have gotten paid relatively well.
Then 3, he has dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, to be a comedian, and that none of that has
that are all fleeting because
we
he's
saw
not good.
that. We saw that after he just gets jumped by a bunch of punks.
This is how I would have done it. I would have started off with him arriving at his house, and you see him interacting with his mom, where he cuts the steak, and then you establish that he's interested in Murray, whatever his name is, Murray, that he has that interest in Murray, and he likes the comedy aspect.
Yes.
Then I would switch to him trying to do some comedy.
Because that one scene that they had where he imagines himself on the show.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was basically showing the want and need of basically having a father figure.
That also,
he saw Murray as a father figure.
Definitely.
And everything in that scene pointed it to the fact of him almost being a kid saying, "Man, I wish this guy could have been my father," or something.
Yeah, I would add that. See, I would add those things before the way the movie started, because you're starting to establish some type of relation towards the character with the viewer and the audience and the character.
Yeah,
you're adding some type of relation there, where the viewer's starting to feel for this guy.
Yeah,
and then once you have that established, where he wants to be a comedian. He takes care of his mom. He works as a clown. That whole thing with the when he was putting up his makeup.
Yeah.
See, that I would have done that right there. You get the idea that he's a clown, and then do the clown dancing. They right there. That's where, and then where they knock the sign, they start beating him up, etc. That's when you start feeling for that character. You're like, damn, this guy's just trying to make a living. He's trying to do something. He has dreams.
Like you feel for him.
He's doing it with a smile on his face. How many people go to their works? And sometimes, like, if you go to a drive-thru, these guys are not even smiling. Or, like, if you go at a store, some people could just, mean mug you because their day is going bad. This guy still manages to smile.
Who manages to smile every day at work?
You shut your face.
The crazy ones.
It's always the crazy ones that smile.
I thought you were going to say you, but that works, too. Cause
I try. No, because... What's the point of having like a mean mugging face all day at work? Like if you have a mean mug,
because nobody messes with you, man.
But like if you mean mugging, right? You gonna like adopt that.
Be there.
But still,
yeah,
like,
but
you shouldn't make the best of it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
shouldn't push your anger towards other people.
So approach at it with a smile, and I can appreciate that from the Joker. Let's get right back on track, boys.
Yep.
All right.
Wow, we got off track. I didn't even realize that. Hey.
But yeah,
snap back to reality.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just those little things I would have changed Joker. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make it an 8 or a 9, somewhere up there. I mean, this just the way that the story was said and how that character was developed. The one thing I do applaud them is after an hour and 30 minutes, the movie was really, really becoming the Joker movie.
Once he's finally letting go of...
Yeah.
It was...
but it literally took an hour and 30 minutes to get there.
I feel like
Sadly, there was only 30 minutes of the joke.
Literally, yeah, for
I,
a 2 hour.
I feel like they could have easily made it to the point of they could have told the same story that took them 130 hour and 30 minutes to they could shorten that to easily become an hour.
They could have done an hour. So this is a 2 hour movie. Do the first hour.
Hey, you
Of
gotta save yourself a budget too.
And then
you
the
know,
second
2 hour
hour
movies are
of-
more
yeah.
expensive.
And I the one thing I would say, they did not have that big Joker moment. I didn't see it. The Moray episode could have been
better,
a little bit more
dramatic.
And let me try to.
You know what was my
Paint
theory
this-
before actually
Let
watching the
him-
movie?
let him-
Oh, you want to go first?
No, for
Rock,
sure.
paper, scissors?
All right. Rochambeau.
All right, I'll go first.
Was he speaking Russian? What was he saying?
It's Rochambeau.
What the heck is Russian?
Rochambeau's like rock, paper, scissors.
Okay,
let's
back
get
on the
snap
track.
back to
no,
reality.
but I mean, like, it's like, it's called Rochambeau.
All right,
Okay.
stay over there. All right. My theory before was I was imagining that when he got on the show that he would, with the way how he killed people, I don't know. I had like this was me hoping, like I imagined like a laughing poisonous gas, you know,
Laughing
that
gas.
would descend on the audience, not just him killing the host. Like he kills everyone that's a witness there,
And it's
Correct.
purple.
and like
Has to be purple.
It has to be green.
Has to be
No.
green,
Has to
green
be
or purple,
lime green.
purple and green.
Yeah, green.
Purple. and-
Laughing gas
Purple
is
and
lime
green.
green. Either
F
way.
it, let's have Barney come out. He's purple and green.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
if they
we're
wanna
gonna
make it- if
cut
they wanna
that
make
out.
it their
I'm
own.
gonna mark that.
Anyways,
If they want to make it their own, might as well make it purple.
no, it's fine.
No,
They
I
could,
think
green or
it
purple,
has to be
it doesn't
green.
matter. I think it has to be green.
All right, fine.
Same.
So, and then like people, because the Joker does stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
He
what
has
I was
killed
waiting.
people with
Or
laughter, so.
what I honestly see, but I think that's going too much towards the Joker we know.
Yeah.
Since it's an origin
Since this
story,
is an origin story, he's
Yeah.
not at that level.
he's not at that level. He doesn't
So,
have that
that
type
was
of
just my
connections.
hope.
Yeah, I would have done it more as, he staged some type of kind of explosive. Even if he had a vest on,
Yeah.
a vest on,
That's very
explosive
classic.
vest on,
Yeah.
and then he kind of held everybody in there hostage, and then once the cops arrive, he kind of does that switcheroo and evades the cops somehow,
Yeah.
and then I guess you could even have him get caught at the end. Let's say where he's trying to, he escapes the actual room, and he goes outside, but somewhere around the corner they got somebody, and then bam, they got him, arrested him.
Okay.
But the problem is that since there's, a riot going on,